Oh, sorry about that, guys. Caught me in the middle of my studies. Anyway, this is GBE, and you're watching Countdown to Infinity War. Today we are talking Doctor Strange. There will be spoilers. Final warning. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the review. Doctor Strange follows the story of brilliant surgeon Stephen Strange, who is a bit of arrogant and full of himself. It's not till he gets into a tragic accident that destroys the tools of his trade, which is his hands, that he reconsiders his whole character and the way he's been acting. But after modern medicine has failed him time after time after time, he decides to take a different approach. This is pretty much your standard origin hero story with a bit of a twist, because we get to explore other dimensions and other worlds and magic powers for the first time really in the MCU, and I have to say it overall is a very solid flick. Benedict Cumberbatch manages to bring the arrogance of Doctor Strange from the comic book pages to the screen, but at the same time he brings a little bit of comedy and charms to the character. Also, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One is brilliant. I know we had a bit of a controversy when this movie was being filmed, because initially this character in the comics is Asian, and she is not, obviously. But I think that her performance and the fact that they chose to use a female for the character went a long way in softening the debacle that could have been this role. Also, I can't pronounce his name, so I'll just call him by his character. That's Carl Mordo. You could really see the seeds of what he could become in the future, and you really know that there's something lurking under there, and he's really holding the darkness at bay. And I can't wait to see what he becomes in future movies, because by the end of the post-credit scene in the second one, we really lays down his plans and what he's coming after, and I really enjoy that. And finally, running out the cast is Benedict Wong as Wong. He has a few straight up moments where it's comedy without being comedy, and I think that really works, especially in the final scene where he busts out laughing after Doctor Strange makes a comment. It all really works for me, and I enjoy him in the limited amount of time, and I'm looking forward to seeing him more in Infinity War. Really, the standouts in this movie are the action sequences. We got some inventive scenes that we hadn't seen in a Marvel movie before, and I know some people compared it to Inception, but the truth is Inception got some of its inspiration from the comics, because the comics have been around since the late 60s, late 70s, I'm not sure about that. But the thing I enjoyed most was the final action sequence, or the lack thereof an action sequence, because instead of breaking down a city like most of these comic book movies do, they took a different approach, and I like the choice that Scott Derrickson and Kevin Feige made to actually build and put the city back together. That's something that we hadn't seen before. The main thing I liked is the performances and the action sequence, and especially the time loop that we find Dormammu trapped in at the end of the film. Instead of this big fight between him and Doctor Strange, it's more of a mental battle, if you will. I really like that Marvel took a risk by showing us Dormammu, because I know there might be some people out there who are not familiar with the character and might find it a little bit strange. Get it? Strange. Anyways, I like that they did that. And as far as negatives, I gotta say the biggest negative again has to be the villain. He's not necessarily bad, because Matt Mikkelsen delivers the best that he can with what he's given, but we don't get much of his backstory other than, you know, his family died and stuff like that. But he disappears for most of the film, and it's just towards the end that he comes out, and we're sort of supposed to feel sympathy or sympathize with him with what he's trying to do. It doesn't really work. Hey guys, that's my discussion / review of Doctor Strange. A very solid movie. I enjoy watching it from time to time, and I really enjoyed watching it this last time. We are so close. The end is near. As Thanos would say, we're 2 weeks away from the release of Infinity War, so we're going to drop 2 countdown videos this week and 2 countdown videos next week, because we are out of time, like Vision says. Anyways, this is GB. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody, and your neighbors, and anyone else you can think of. For now, this is me signing off, and I got to get back to my studies. Let's see here.